Hunter Elliott, rangehot.com. I'm out here today doing something a little different. I'm reviewing the Advanced Armament Corporation's Illusion Silencer. This silencer is 9mm caliber, so anything 9mm or smaller, 3.55 inches for you Americans, is good to go on this can. So there's a couple new features about this silencer that I'm going to go over a little bit. This is an unmanned camera, so I'm not pointing a gun at anybody. You can see here, right here at the end of the bore, is it's off-centered, and that allows you to, when you're running your pistol, standard silencers through the center, you know, you've got a lot of that silencer, actually the body sticking up above the top of your slide, and that's going to interfere with your sight alignment sight picture. AAC, having the forethought of running that bore a little bit above, it'll still allow you to keep your factory sights instead of having to put those silencer sights on to stick up pretty high above your slide. And also the silencer sights, since they are so tall, it gives you sight alignment sight picture problems. But I'm going to start out with I've got 10 rounds of the magazine. The first 5 rounds were supersonic, the last 5 rounds were subsonic. So first and foremost, I want to show you the difference in what a silencer makes as far as the report of the gun. So still, even with the supersonics, it quiets it enough where you do not need to use hearing protection. So here we go. Alright, now for the subsonic. Alright, so you see there, even with the supersonics, you can never get away from that sonic crack. Anything moving a little bit over 1100 feet a second is gonna, when it breaks that sound barrier, you're gonna get that sonic crack. Alright, so as y'all know, silencers are NFA regulated. But the cool thing about it is, it's the silencer that's regulated. So any pistol that you've got with a threaded barrel, such as I'm right now, I'm started out with the CZ-P09. It comes with a factory threaded barrel. So that's what I started running the gun on. I put the CZ up. Here I have a factory Glock 17, and I'm running a Lone Wolf threaded barrel. Here again, show you everything's clear. So, you know, same deal. The silencer, like I said earlier, if it's the same bore, 3.55, 9mm or smaller, you know, you could certainly use this silencer on anything 9mm or smaller, 22 long rifle, that have you. Okay, so anyway, like I was talking about earlier, you see, now I've threaded this on here, once again, unmanned camera. Now you see the problem we're running into. The eccentric is different. AAC engineered this can to where you grab it here, pull out, and you can rotate the silencer, and it fits in a little groove. Kind of when you see this, the AAC logo lined up, then you've got your silencer set up just right, where you can see here.
Glock 17 platform, same setup, 5-round super, 5-round sub. Now 5 sub. I'm brand new to the suppressor game. Thanks to Hunter Elliott here at Range Hot. The first time I ever got my hands on any suppressor on any weapon system. This is fun.
You've seen us running on 2 different platforms. The CZ-P09 here. You saw my buddy Rick running the Glock 17 with the Lone Wolf barrel. Shot several magazines through both guns. Didn't have any kind of functionality problems. Super Zor subs. It does add a little bit of muzzle weight to the end of the gun, which is good and bad. I've noticed, especially when you're shooting subsonic rounds, like I said earlier, under 1100 feet a second, so it's not a hot round to begin with. You add a little bit of weight to the muzzle, and you notice that you do have a great deal of recoil reduction, but it is, like I said, a little muzzle heavy, so when you're shooting it, it kind of throws the center of balance of the gun off a little bit more than maybe you would be used to. And it's pretty cool shooting pistol matches as well as coming out here to the range, and you can, you know, shoot all you want. You don't have to worry about hearing protection. It keeps your noise signature down. It keeps your noise pollution down. You know, in this day and age of gun owners trying to be more responsible, especially to non-gun owners, if you can suppress the report of your firearm some, you know, it's going to be a little bit more friendly to the non-shooters, especially people that may be in close proximity to you. So it's kind of a way to, what I'm thinking is, keep your footprint a little smaller. Something else that my buddy Rick had brought up is somebody that you're just getting introduced into firearms. Maybe they're a little intimidated. Maybe that noise has kind of got them a little freaked out. You know, you get your 9mm, which is really a good platform to start people off with anyway. Threaded barrel, thread this Illusion on it, and then you're going to take away all that intimidation factor from the reports.
Just want to demonstrate the difference between with and without silencer with subsonic rounds. I'm going to have 2 without the silencer and then 2 with. Check it out.
And though this silencer does hang down a little bit more than a standard one, it's not enough to really affect where your light hit.
You got ears, right?
No.
Oh, you got
No, and these are subs, and these are subs.
All right, here we go. We're at the end of the AAC Illusion Silencer review. You see we've wrapped up the shooting portion of it. As far as the silencer goes, there's not really a whole lot of moving parts. So functionality-wise, it did what it was supposed to do. I do have a decibel meter, though it's not the most expensive one on the planet. It does pretty fair. And so I shot these with the decibel meters, and the amount of suppression that my decibel meter read was pretty consistent as far as what AAC says that you should get off this. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that I believe AAC is being honest when they talk about how much suppression levels you're getting out of this can. I did take it out, and on the 2 host guns that you saw me shooting, the CZ-P09 and the Glock 17 with the Lone Wolf threaded barrel, and I have shot those for accuracy at 25 yards from arrest. I compared those results to the reviews that I did on both the CZ and the Glock Lone Wolf barrel, and compared to see if there was any kind of difference in accuracy with or without the silencer. And as best I could tell, it didn't really make any difference. There's a couple different ways you can run this. AAC talks about what they call an artificial environment, which means you can add of water to the silencer, and that is also going to help you increase the suppression a little bit. AAC says you should clean the silencer about every 1,000 rounds, about every 500 if you are running the artificial environment. Fortunately, it's really easy to take the silencer apart. AAC ships it with this particular tool. Basically, it just fits on the end of the can, and you break it loose, and like a threaded, almost like a castle nut. And then when you get this out, what you have is the piston and the spring. Now, this is pretty nasty, so it hasn't been cleaned yet. And so that's what you need to clean. They recommend cleaning the baffles about similar interval. Fortunately, it's also simple to do that. The front of the can simply unscrews. And now basically you have a tube. Inside is the baffles, 5/8 inch wooden dowel rod inserted in the rear, and force the baffles out. That way you can get to them and clean them like you're supposed to. I haven't cleaned it yet, so it's pretty gunky. But it really didn't seem to affect performance. I'm going to get it cleaned up. And I'm glad to see that AAC has come out with a silencer that you can run without having to add silencer sights to your gun. You know, the tall silencer sights that'll throw off your sight alignment sight picture. So anyway, that's about it, guys. This is Hunter Elliott with rangehot.com. I'm signing off. If you've got any questions or comments or criticisms, find us on Facebook, YouTube, you know, Twitter, the whole 9 yards. Let me know what you think. And I'm going to continue to hang on to this silencer and do an extended review, so I'm going to update this from time to time on how it's working. Take care of yourself and each other, guys. I hope to see you out at range.